Hey guys, I'm Mocha. If you guys are new, welcome. This is going to be for the new moon in Cancer. I'm excited because it's currently Cancer season, and to have a new moon in the sign of the season, it's a double of that energy. Um, I did do a Cancer season collective reading, so I do encourage you to watch that as well. But this reading is just solely for this new moon and how it will be affecting us. The next time we'll experience a full moon will be 2 weeks from now. So even though the moon changes phases and it does change zodiac signs within those 2 weeks, I do feel like new moons and full moons have that effect on us within that time period. So it's important to watch this reading and see, within the next 2 weeks, how is this new moon in Cancer going to affect us on an energetic level? How can we work with it? What do we need to prepare and look for? What lessons could this new moon and Cancer be bringing to our attention so that we can apply it in our lives? So, with that being said, I'm gonna pull a few cards, probably pull like maybe 5 or 6 to see what messages come through, and then I'll let y'all go. Okay, so let's see what comes through for the new moon in Cancer for the collective. New moons are great for setting new intentions, but I've said the same thing for full moons. They're also great for releasing things that no longer align with those new intentions. So I know, like, for example, for me, I have a few things that I want to do pertaining to my businesses, in matters of family, friends, collaborations, personal things for myself that I'm working on. And this new moon in Cancer, especially with being a Cancer and Cancer ruling the fourth house of family, domestication, domestic life, private matters in the home, ancestral lineage and culture, family again. And even talk about motherhood and children, and even the womb, because the moon is also maternal energy. It's good. This is a good time to reflect on what has manifested that I wanted in those matters. This is also a good time to reflect and decide on what is it that I don't need to focus so much on. Also, like, my values and my core beliefs around those subjects, to see if they need to change. And then also just to get intentional about doing something different, doing something new. This is also a good time to think of new, innovative ways to attract and manifest things. With all of this new energy with the new moon, we can't help but think about the things we do need to let go of that aren't going to come with us with all of these new goals, plans, visions on existing and new ideas and plans and goals. Okay, so I love new moons because it's like having a whiteboard that has all these ideas and things that we've written down, affirmations, and we're just wiping it clean. And we might write the same affirmations, goals, and plans, but we got a new attitude. We might even have a new team with us in that room. New moons are great for like conference meetings. I look at it this way with new moons too, is like, if you have a goal or you have a plan and you're very business oriented, this is one of those meetings where we're having a conference meeting and we could be including new people into the conference room. We could be bringing in people that could spice up the goal or the plan, or they can bring a new spin to it. If it's just you and only you and your spirit team, this is the conference meeting where we're like, okay, so what do we want to change up? What needs to go? Who needs to be termed? Who needs to be released? What ideas are outdated? That's the kind of thing. So enough of me talking about the new moon in Cancer and the vibe that it's going to bring. Let's see what messages come through for us as a collective. Cancer, new moon in Cancer. What is it that we need to hear, Spirit? Speak to me clearly. Well, money is coming in. Okay, we have the Eight of Wands. So as a collective, we're not procrastinating on manifesting what we want. A lot of writing, speaking into existence, communicating, sharing, information and ideas. So I think as a collective, you might notice people like being more vocal, verbal about what are their new plans and goals. You might really start even seeing yourself speak on things that you normally wouldn't, because you believe that if you give it a sound, or if you share it with somebody, or even if it's through an email or a voice memo, a text, a phone call, a social media post, that it's going to give it more of a force behind it happening. This is definitely giving me the energy of prayer, or petitioning, speaking to God, speaking to the universe, and just basically using your voice and projecting, this is what I want and I'm ready to go get it. This is what I want and I'm ready to receive feedback or information or guidance or direction on what to do next. Okay, a lot of times I look at the Eight of Wands like the bow and arrow, like we aim the bow, we pull back and we let the arrow fly, and expecting some sort of response back to what our requests, prayers are. So this just telling me that as a collective, we're not shy about what we're asking for. We are not hesitant about what we're asking for. A lot of us have already done this, and this could be an indication that we are hearing some form of communication back about what is it that we're asking for. We're getting confirmations, we're getting answers, we're getting feedback, we're getting direction, we're getting guidance on what is it that we're asking for, okay? This is good. It's giving prayer answer. Okay, let's see what else comes through for the new moon in Cancer. Thank you, Spirit. We have, I can't make this up. This is the Magician, guys. Okay, this is the Magician, and this is Mercury energy. I have to mention the synchronicities here because God is speaking clearly and loud in this reading. We have the Eight of Wands, which is Mercury and Sagittarius. And now we have the Magician card, which is a Mercury energy. So coincidentally, as I'm recording this is Wednesday, July the 3rd. And Wednesdays are Mercury energy as well. So it's like Spirit is saying again, write, speak, sing, be vocal, communicate however method that you choose. Let the universe know, let God know, let other people know. This reminds me also too, so for me personally in the human design, I'm a manifesting generator, manifestor generator. And a lot of times what I've read so far about manifesting generators are that it's important for us to communicate with others what we're trying to do. That helps in the process of manifesting and attracting what we want. That's what this reminds me of. Communicate what you want and you will get communication back. This Cancer moon, this new moon in Cancer is a great time to engage and interact with people right now. And you would think, the moon would be in Gemini, but if you think about it, right before this new moon in Cancer, it was in the sign of Gemini, right before. So the moon, as it was becoming, disappearing, because when the new moon is a new moon, you don't see it, you barely see it. So as the moon was at the point of disappearing, it was actually in the sign of Gemini. So it makes sense that there's a lot of this like communication, third house vibe coming in for this new moon in Cancer, because it was just in the sign of Gemini, which is the communicator of the zodiacs. The Magician is also to me a conjurer. So for those that are into working, being an alchemist, or working with herbs, or however way method you choose to be an alchemist and conjure, this is also an indication that this, whatever you're asking for, is working. This is more than anything to me, though, talking about back and forth communication with God, back and forth communication with Source, back and forth communication with people, okay, and hearing. So this is really powerful. I ain't gonna lie to you. The first major arcana to come out in this new moon reading to be the Magician is telling me that as long as you have the willpower, you use your resources, you use what you have, you communicate, you text, you call, you go online, you share, then you're going to hear information. You're going to get information to guide and direct you on what to do next. Let me pull 3 more cards for the new moon in Cancer. Wow, I asked for 3 cards and they gave me 3 cards. Okay. So we have the World, the Page of Wands, and the Nine of Pentacles. Wow. So the World is Saturn energy, and the World is not only Saturn energy, but it's the last major arcana in the tarot. So what this tells me is that there is something that is coming to a completion, and this is amazing. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because this is something that could have felt like trial and error, trial and error. A lot of times I look at the World card as the graduation card. After going through tests and after going through different kinds of experiences, having to deal with adversity and obstacles and challenges, having to deal with limitations and restrictions, having to deal with discipline, everything that Saturn represents, karma even, and then being able to say, okay, I have completed this. I have now surpassed this. I've learned the lesson. I don't have to go through this test anymore, or this class anymore, or this trial anymore. I know how to navigate through these restriction or limitation. Now this is a time to say, okay, karmic lesson close. I have completed it. Now I can celebrate. Okay, so, this Eight of Wands and this Magician energy coming prior and then coming through is the World card. This could be God indicating to you that there is something that you're asking for, and you're going to be receiving it because you learned the lesson. You graduated from this karmic experience or lesson, and that's the reason why you're probably going to be experiencing in the next 2 weeks a lot more communication. Also keep in mind, like, this reading can apply to future new moon and Cancer transits that happen, because the new moon in Cancer will happen again. But I feel like this communication that you're getting from God source, especially if you notice that it happens quickly, because the Eight of Wands is very quick energy too. People sleep on this. This could be quick travel, quick news, quick information, quick response, is because this time around, this cycle, you've completed the cycle. You've learned the lesson. Interesting too is Saturn is currently retrograding as I record this in the sign of Pisces. So this is Saturn, for some of you guys, revisiting old lessons and testing you to see if you've applied what you learned in that trial. And a lot of you guys evidently are going to pass this, okay? Whenever Saturn is retrograding, it is a time for a self-evaluation on what you've learned, and it's also a great opportunity to test you to see. So for example, let's say you're struggling with finances and Saturn has been pretty much whooping your ass, putting you in shape, testing you, showing you how to navigate or with limitations, restrictions regarding money. During the Saturn retrograde, especially for those that have Saturn in the second house, for example, regarding personal finances, you might notice a test, and Saturn's going to say, well, let's see, how do you handle another limitation or another restriction, or something that's going to require you to wait. How are you going to respond to it this time? Because Saturn tends to make us wait as well. And if you handle it pretty well, especially if you apply what you learn, you're going to get a quick response and a manifestation that you wanted quickly. And that's how it can come up. Like, okay, I've gone through another restriction where I've had to wait, and then here, boom, here's your blessing. It comes in quick. Like, I'm hearing a refund check or something like that for that example or that hypothetical. Let's say you're like, man, I was supposed to do this, and I procrastinated. This time around, I went and got it done. I knocked it out this time. And, even though you took care of it quicker than you would normal, they still tell you to wait. And because you didn't, react the way you used to, you got it quicker than everybody else, though. So it could be like that. The next card that we have here is the Page of Wands, and this is the communication coming in, exactly what I was talking about. You getting information. Oh, by the way, typically you would wait. This time around, you're going to get something quick, okay? And you're going to be like, wow, I did actually manifest this due to me handling the situation a lot more better. Some of you guys are already reaping some sort of manifestation and or blessings already because of this. So this is beautiful. And the Nine of Pentacles is telling me that you're going to be enjoying the fruits of your labor. This is Venus and Virgo energy. And this is telling me right off the bat, this is due to your hard work. Okay, this is you. This is due to you learning the lesson. And only you could have been the one to learn this lesson on your own. Okay, so this new moon in Cancer is about learning a lesson independently and reaping the rewards of learning that lesson. And it could definitely come in the form of money, especially because the Nine of Pentacles talks about money, entrepreneurship, being independent. It could also represent being single as well. But to me, this is giving me like a personal victory with the Nine of Pentacles in the world. And the Page of Wands is giving me exciting news, especially with the Page and the Eight of Wands. Okay. This new moon is going to be, it's going to feel like a personal victory for the next 2 weeks. Like you're leveling up on your own, or you accomplish something on your own. And that's another thing that Saturn, it teaches people, like we have, like our personal lessons are our personal lessons. They're not every lesson in our life is meant to be shared with somebody. And even if we are in a marriage or a committed relationship, or we have shared responsibilities with somebody or obligations with somebody, that like you can still go through an individual lesson with Saturn, all while sharing something with someone else, sharing the experience with someone else. Let's say you guys have shared finances or shared responsibilities like bills with somebody. That person may not have to learn the lesson that you have to learn regarding budgeting, or that person, you may know about saving, but that person might not. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is going through their own personal lesson, and that's just one area, okay? Is there anything else the Spirit wants me to bring up about how this new moon in Cancer is going to affect us? Cancer tends to be codependent on people. And with this Nine of Pentacles coming at the very end, I feel like Cancer is going to learn that codependency can be a hindrance. It can hinder us in some way. In that it's not other people's responsibilities to help us manifest our personal goals. It's for us to learn and handle our own personal goals. Cancer energy is family, it's motherhood, it's womb, it is ancestral culture and lineage. It is possibly, generational lessons that are learned through the mother. And it can talk about the mother and child dynamic. There's something about this energy where, like, this new moon in Cancer is talking about standing alone. You could be a mother that's learning to focus on self. You could be in a family dynamic where you're learning to stand alone in some areas of your life. Again, there's something about learning a lesson about codependency and and learning that you have to learn certain things by yourself on your own. And I feel like for those that really grasp that are going to reap some beautiful reward. You could be proving to people you can do things on your own. You can stand alone. You can take care of yourself. You can be independent. You can grow something, and that you have the skills to do it. So, yeah, that's all I have for this new moon in Cancer, guys. Let me know if this resonates. Again, this reading can apply to future new moon in Cancer and transits, and this can apply to anyone, even with Cancer. But this is for the collective. So yeah, if you guys want to book a personal reading with me, the links are in the description box below. Follow me on my socials, and until next time, we'll see each other. Bye.